to give Fast and Furious fans a PTSD attack. I'm not Paul Walker, but what am I talking about? I also kind of look like a youth pastor. I'm not going to give you a sermon right now, but I did want to talk about. Honestly, I'm going to sound like a youth pastor. So, but I know for me, it's not just a cathartic thing, but I've also always liked being able to talk to people and being able to put out my feelings when it comes to like everything, life and everything. I think about it a lot, and it helps me to put it out there, what I feel. So I think I'm making this YouTube channel just to like talk about all that stuff. And I don't know if it's all gonna be like related to life and advice, because I do a lot of other stuff, but I just like talking to the camera and sounding stupid sometimes. But what's on my mind recently, what's on my mind all the time, but especially recently because I've been seeing a lot of stuff on social media about this, is fixing yourself. And I'm somebody that for a long time has really hyper fixated on what it is that I need to do to be a better person. And a lot of it is centered around the idea that I thought the only way good things could happen to me was by being the best person possible. Now, is this entirely wrong or a wrong thought process? I don't know, but it is very detrimental to your mental health over time if you lean into it. There's a line where it gets really unhealthy. Damn, they sling in those discs. Forgive me. And I think it's not even necessarily going to make you a better person to feel that way, because if you're not able to listen to yourself and what you care about, everything kind of falls out the window at some point. I know for me, it came because of the fact that when I was younger, I used to sacrifice my feelings for other people because I felt trapped. And I felt like the things around me, I couldn't actually fix myself. And so I thought the only way for it to ever get better, I must have to try and do some amazing thing within myself in order to change the world around me and change the people around me that were affecting me. Except none of it was really my responsibility. And ultimately, it only hurt me to take so much responsibility over everything else that I can't control, or everything else that I'm not supposed to have any responsibility for. It's not my problem. But I always felt like I had so much responsibility because I didn't want things to continue to suck. And so I thought, if I just be as good of a person as possible, if I do everything right, then the world won't suck so much. But the reality was that it continued to suck, no matter how much I tried. And when you have the thought process from the jump that you need to fix yourself in order to have the world be better around you, or the world to treat you a little bit better, and then the world doesn't treat you a little bit better, you get deeper into it. And you start trying to fix yourself more and more and more and more and more until you're just like, you were right here mentally, and now you're just dropping lower and lower and lower, even though the entire time you're trying so hard to fix yourself and you think you're trying to get better as a person. But as hard as you try to push yourself to be a better person, you end up feeling worse and worse as a person, because the world's not going to change just because of that. When I see a lot of TikToks or videos in general, whatever, books, self-help books, that talk about how there's something deeply wrong with you and how you need to fix it, even if they're not saying that directly. Sometimes they are, but even if they're not saying that directly, when they imply it, it's super unhealthy. I think that's the main thing that people need to realize, is that there's nothing really wrong with them. We all kind of have our quirks, and we have our little issues. Some people do have a little bit bigger issues than other people, but ultimately it's just kind of a part of who you are. And if you can come to accept it and come to accept yourself as a whole, a lot of times that balance can form. But when you constantly feel like everything is wrong and everything is shit, and you fix every bit of yourself, and you diagnose yourself really heavily, and you try super hard to find every little detail of your thought process or of anything that is wrong with you, then a lot of times you end up just making the problem worse because you feel like everything's wrong with you. I think the most beautiful thing about people, every person on this earth, is their expression of themselves. And that expression doesn't just include the good things. It includes the bad things. It includes the lovey-dovey things. It includes the real painful and sometimes frustrated things. And I don't like when people try so hard to fix every little bit of themselves and they end up suppressing not only the negative parts of themselves but also the positive parts of themselves. There's a reality that like you just can't change everything. And if you continuously feel like there's something wrong with you, you're not going to want to really change anything that actually matters. Because going forward, you're always thinking, well, I can't really do this because if I try to do this, it's going to be the wrong version of me because I have something wrong. So nothing right's going to happen. If I want to go and make this change in my life, I'm not ready for it because there's something wrong with me. If I want to go and try for this new career or move to this new place or talk to this new person, you're just always going to feel like you can't, you're not ready to it because you've developed this idea that there's something wrong with you, and the only way for things to work out is if you're perfect. I know personally that everybody around me in my life, and not only how I view them but how they view me, they would almost always rather view me for like everything, and I would rather view them for everything about them. That doesn't just include the good things. The version of you that you look back and you hate now, there's somebody out there that probably thought that was a cool ass person, probably loved that person. The version of you now, version of you in the future, the version of you when you were a little kid, at every point there was somebody that really digged you. And that itself is a testament to the fact that you're good. There's nothing really all that wrong with you. And you can convince yourself that the only way for there to be something right with you is if you get up every morning and go for a run at 4 a.m. and read self-help books and take cold baths and stuff like that. And that's not wrong. This stuff does feel good sometimes. And if you want to be healthy physically, it's a good idea. But it's not going to change who you are. You're not wrong. Express yourself, and don't be afraid to express the bad part of you. Damn. I feel like I'm in bird apocalypse right now. I hope I didn't come off too much like I'm trying to sell you a course online about how you need to stop jerking off and you need to eat just raw meat, and that's the only way you're going to be happy. I mean, I feel like I've said the opposite. Ends, advice, the stuff that I feel like is important is to like, if you're thinking to yourself, well, what do I do right now? What am I supposed to take away from all this? The practical advice that I have is that next time you start looking at the answer to all your solution, the solution to all your problems, don't look for it in trying to do anything to create a new version of yourself or to try and change who you are. Just maybe try to accept every bit of yourself first and let that kind of permeate in here and see how that makes you feel and see how that makes you think. Accept every bit of yourself, despite what everybody says. I don't care. I don't care if there's a, a person at your work or at your school that call you a little ugly bitch, or said that you look like Robert Pattinson and Paul Walker all the time. I really hate Robert Pattinson. I'm telling you, he's cool, but I'm so tired of getting told. I played a pickup basketball game once, and in the middle of the game, everybody stopped. This was a 5v5, so 9 other people stopped in the middle of the game to tell me I looked like the dude from Twilight, and I don't really see it. Yeah, take that into account if you feel like it. If you don't feel like it, I don't know, die unhappy or something. I don't care. That's not what's gonna happen. But either way, if I get at least like 2 views on this, I think I'll make more. And of those 2 views, if one of them's my sister, I'll count it. Yeah, I don't know how to say bye. I don't know. Look at my cool new tattoo. Yeah, losers. I bet you don't got a cool tattoo like this. I look like Robert Pattinson. This sucks.